Governor Gretchen Whitmer. She has recognized today, September 30th, our product launch day, as the day for automotive software discovery and innovation. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Thank you for this recognition. And we'll send you this or share this proclamation with you. It says, recognizes the work that is being done at SDVerse by our partners. And it talks about how important software is for the state of Michigan, but for the industry overall. Right? Now, it's not only about innovation, it's about people. Right? Cars inspire us because some of the most talented people in the world have dedicated their lives, their careers to building amazing products. These products, technologies, these move the world forward, people forward, the economy forward. And as a result, we have now become a $4 trillion industry. We create 60 million jobs globally, one of the biggest spenders in R&D, and I could go on, right? We're all very passionate about automotive. But let's also acknowledge it's not just smooth roads and green lights. It's a complex business. It's a capital-intensive business. It's a competitive business. It's a regulated business, right? But it's also a business. It's a place. It's also in transition right now. Right? The next 5 years are going to, in my opinion, bring more change than the last 5 decades. Right? That's how impactful this is going to be. And some people have called this the Darwinian decade coming up. I think I am a lot more optimistic. And I think that optimism comes from having experienced and benefited from the power of technology personally, and more specifically software and AI, right, with what's going on in the industry. So I will be joined on stage in a few minutes with people who share the same optimistic view about the power of software, people who thought that software can do a lot of great good for the industry. We need people who believed that we need to move away. We need to keep our roots, but need to build on the great work that the industry has done so far. We need to move towards software, right? And so there's this group of people, and I'm going to acknowledge in a few minutes, but this group of people came together in March of this year with a simple idea. What can we do with software, right? And we wanted to explore what a collaboration looks like, what a marketplace might look like, that brings people in software together, that you can do software faster, cheaper, better than what it is being done today, right? And so we came together in March, and I'm super thrilled to announce that today we are realizing and we are delivering on that ambition, right? Can we just maybe give a round of applause for the people who came together? So my team and I, the SDVerse team, I think you saw my picture. There was a time I had time to shave in the mornings, not so much anymore. But the people who brought this idea, the vision together, there's a whole lot of people and partners. But I want to specifically call out and thank Dan Nicholson from General Motors, Jörg Grotendorst from Magna, and Sonal Ramrakhani from Wipro. It is your constant feedback, your guidance, your taking calls when you're traveling all over the world. It's helping us build a company that's rooted in trust, in stability. We are setting this up for long-term success. Now, it's not only GM and Magna and Wipro that came together for this. We were joined by an incredible group of partners, right? And it's going to be difficult for me to take names for everyone right now. There's a lot of people who contributed, and we'll have them on stage. But we have our launch partners who made this happen. The Ampere Group, FEV, Forvia, HL Mando, TT Tech Auto, NXP, Valeo, and more recently, we've been joined by our premier partner, Cummins, and a growing ecosystem of partners, Bosch Engineering. We've not announced this outside before. Bosch Engineering has joined SDVerse, and so has Popcorn SAR, based out of Korea, and Soda Auto, based out of the UK. Can we give another round of applause for So we've been meeting with our launch partners in the last 6.5 months, every week, through different bodies, through different forums. The advisory council is what we call it, for advice and direction and guidance and feedback, and focus groups to kind of test out what we are doing. And so with all of that work, we are going to go live today, right? I shared with you the recognition in appreciation for that work that the governor gave us. But more importantly for us, we are going to go live with more than 163 products. So there are 163 softwares that are available for sale, for viewing on the marketplace today. And our CTO is going to show you that in a few minutes. Right? This massively exceeds our expectations, massively, significantly ahead of our expectations, and I appreciate all the work that went into this. So you'll see, you'll hear from some of our speakers, and I don't want to steal their thunder. You will actually, instead of me talking a whole lot more, you'll actually see how the marketplace is going to look like. But if you're looking for, right from valet parking software to security framework for ASIL-D, you're looking for tire pressure monitoring systems to the battery management system, anything that you want to do before you start developing it by yourself, I encourage you to come log into SDVerse and see if it's already available. See if you want to build on something rather than just do everything by yourself. Right? One of my favorite quotes is from Warren Buffett. He says, the only job of any manager, any CEO, any leader is the most effective allocation of resources. Right? Just think, as an industry, are you using resources effectively if you do everything by yourself? Right? So again, I encourage you to talk to us to learn more about SDVerse, right? And at this point, I'm going to invite Kristen Toth from General Motors to share more about how she and General Motors are seeing the value of SDVerse and the benefit and how they're going to integrate SDVerse into the organization. Kristen, thank you.
Thank you, Prashant, for that warm welcome. Good morning. I'm Kristen Toth. I have the honor to lead our global electrical systems, software, and connectivity purchasing team at General Motors. This includes all of our outsourced software and technology. And I say it's an honor because our industry is at the forefront of transformation, which is pretty exciting. And so is General Motors. GM is taking bold steps to lead an industry in transformation. We have a long leadership history in software. In fact, GM was the first to put a microprocessor and in-house developed software into a vehicle in our engine controls back in 1977. In 1996, we introduced the first connected car with OnStar. While these milestones are important, we're now entering a defining shift for the future of automobiles. Our mission is clear: zero crashes, zero emissions, and zero congestion. This requires our commitment to speed and excellence in software development. Electrification is no doubt in the spotlight, but software is equally crucial. GM is focused on delivering unique features for our customers by building a platform of software innovation and collaborating with suppliers, tech partners, and startups. The demand for common underlying code is absolutely growing, and we need standards and shared solutions. As vehicles increasingly resemble consumer electronics, the competition for talent is no doubt intensifying, and we believe creating a software marketplace for embedded systems is essential that can solve real challenges. We're fully in on the benefits of SDVerse. It has the opportunity to make this shift easier and more successful for so many companies. GM will start out as a buyer on the platform, but will be active and committed to its success as we do play a major role in driving standardization. This platform is focused on speed, which is essential in our industry today. We invite others to join us. This transformation does not have to be overwhelming. If you can imagine the whole industry a one-stop shop for embedded system software, what can that do? Well, it can expand access to new players, new innovation, it will drive down cost, it will allow us to implement critical software faster and with quality. The benefits of the marketplace are clear. Big, huge congratulations to the team at SDVerse for achieving a Q3 launch. Thank you for having us today, and I'd like to introduce Jorg Grotendorst, Senior Vice President, Corporate R&D at Magna.
Thanks, Lucille. Good morning, everybody. And Christine, thank you very much for the nice introduction. Welcome to the SDVerse team, and happy to have all the founding and launching partners with us today. As Christine said, my name is Jörg Grotendorst, and I'm in charge of corporate R&D at Magna. There are many great reasons to be excited about the launch of SDVerse and the lasting impact it will have on software development and procurement in the automotive industry. But I'd like to focus first on some key points that my colleagues at Magna and I find particularly important. First, SDVerse Marketplace addresses the critical need for a large platform where sellers and buyers of software for automotive applications can easily find each other. Our industry faces challenges due to both A, software content with the more and more rising complexity in a vehicle is continuously growing. We are talking about hundreds of millions of code today and expect this to grow to almost around 1 billion by 2030. And B, customers expect shorter and shorter time to market. They adapt their habits from mobile phone industry and behavior and transfer these expectations to the vehicle. SDVerse solves these issues by providing a searchable platform and incentivizing comprehensive product descriptions, setting an industry standard. The marketplace also opens up new opportunities for sellers to more easily find solutions that meet customer expectations across the board, leading to positive outcomes on both sides of the transaction, benefiting the whole industry. Being a software designer by myself, I can tell you that we are very much looking forward to using this new marketplace to engage with buyers and sellers earlier in the software architectural definition phase. This enables procurement teams to consult experts and gain a better understanding of their needs, fostering effective engagement between sellers and buyers to address desired specification and requirements. Secondly, SDVerse has been designed explicitly to support our industry's collective goal to create a future where software-defined vehicles are the standard and not anymore an exception. In fact, regardless of our shared ambition and the transformative advantages in automotive software, we have so far failed to gain the forward momentum needed to achieve this goal. In my view, SDVerse will be the foundational building block for our industry's innovative future. It will eliminate the need to constantly redesign and qualify software by providing access to proven solutions, thereby reducing costs and, of course, effort while improving time to market. This ultimately will benefit the end customer. They will have greater satisfaction experiencing higher software quality throughout embedded and reused software building blocks. Moreover, this ability to reuse and continuously adapt qualified software solutions will lead to a future where software-defined vehicles can be updated with software on a higher maturity level. This will provide customers the same level of convenience they expect from the smartphone market, as I said before. In other words, SDVerse is not merely another online marketplace. It is the first real collaborative effort to commercialize automotive software, establishing a new standard defined by transparency, reduced costs, and accelerated speed to market. Finally, I'm excited and proud of the unprecedented collaboration across the automotive industry, where we prioritize our shared vision over the industry competitiveness. SDVerse is inclusive, welcoming all, including our largest competitors, as we aim to shape the software-defined future together. Looking ahead, we will continue to encourage broad participation from companies of all sizes, while ensuring accessibility through a tailored pricing model. Even small developers and startups can confidently showcase their products to Tier 1s and OEMs, thanks to this inclusive approach. As we at Magna say, forward for all. This journey has been unifying and rewarding, and we are just beginning to prepare our work ahead. I would like to acknowledge and thank all our partners, SDVerse CEO Prashant, and co-founders, GM, especially Dan, and Repro, Sonal, as well as our launch partners for their support in developing solutions for the software-defined vehicle of the future. This launch marks a new era of industry-wide collaboration, essential for progress and realizing our collective vision of the future. Thank you once again for all your time and interest you have spent, and I would now like to ask Thomas Müller to join me on stage. Thank you very much. Now, Thomas.
Thanks, Jörg.
Stage is yours.
Jörg, thank you so very much for the introduction. I'm really humbled to be in front of all of you, observing the launch of an idea that had quite a long time of coming. I speak here in the name of our over 230,000 Wiproites that constitute what Wipro is in its 75-year history. We're an India-based global provider of services, engineering services. 70% of what we do economically goes to charitable causes. Many of you may not know this, so I think it's worth noting. And we're working with over 500 clients globally in engineering services. About 20–25% of those clients are directly and indirectly linked to the automotive industry. And the beauty of the services that we do is we can see so many aspects, so many windows into the market, that we can see similarities, we can see patterns, and we can also observe where things are not going as well. And as we work with over 50 automotive clients directly, we can observe where the issues and challenges are. And when GM, as our long-standing partner, approached us with this idea and Magna was joining in, we were really excited because we saw that this could be the foundation for this industry to really change for a lot more innovation. And this aggregating software from hardware was something that isn't new to the automotive industry. It has been done before, but not to the extent that we're seeing now opportunities. Other industries, like telecommunication, have gone through this change many, many years ago. And the beauty is that we can transfer ideas from one industry that have worked to another industry. What worked in oil and gas by sharing applications and data might now eventually work in other industries. So we're seeing these opportunities, and SDVerse is basically our launch vehicle here to drive innovation, strategic innovation in this industry that hopefully will appeal not only to customers, but will appeal to all the people involved. What we're dealing with here, a single car, and we spoke about this a few years back, has more than 100 million lines of code. It can possibly be 150, 200 million lines of code, depending on the models we're looking today. That is hugely complex. It's more complex than Facebook. It's more complex than Microsoft's 365 online platform, by far. And how can you maintain that code all by yourself or with a selected ecosystem with long turnaround times? I think that's one of the challenges. And the use of open source, which GM was propelling for years now into this industry, becomes, in our view, a great, great opportunity. And the use of open source software has changed the face of many, many industries. Overall, internet services today, as we consume them, are all powered by open source software. 70, 80% of what we're using, Android ecosystem, for example, is open source. And SDVerse allows us to really access and tap into this market. And as we look into this market, we find, of course, a lot of code, a lot of software that has been built sometimes decades ago. And that software is perhaps not in the shape and form that it can be taken forward for another decade. So this represents a unique opportunity to actually modernize code. And the modernization of code is not always a bad thing. It doesn't mean just cost. It means an opportunity to make software more reusable, more modular. If we follow web design, cloud-based principles, this software can easily be stitched together and aggregated and disaggregated as it is needed by car makers. Today, many of the code is just monolithic. It's spaghetti programming and has a long history. But moving forward, the software snippets that we're dealing with will enable the composition of code and artificial intelligence coming together. If we think what's appealing to customers most is if they're dealing with products that are feeling human-like, that are not feeling synthetic. For those of you in this market who've been using driver assistance technology, we've all been going through this journey where we felt, well, that system is perhaps not working ideally as I would have expected it, but how can you make software more human-like? That means we have to apply a lot more AI into these products. These products are looking over our shoulders and trying to assimilate our experts' use in a real world at the scale of a fleet. SDVerse can accelerate this journey and make those products less synthetic, more human-like, and we believe that the building blocks really will come out of SDVerse. And there's a long roadmap that we envisage together with our founders for SDVerse to come, and I'm really humbled today that we have a launch event here and kicking this baby off. And I hope that everybody can contribute as of today by making his software accessible to others. The ecosystem, the launch of an app store, if you think back in the iPhone days, it was, I believe, 2008 when the app store opened at Apple for the first time and people could actually decide which software they would like to have. A market that equaled access for small developers, large development houses. It creates an equal play field for everyone for innovation. And this is something that I believe this industry will hugely benefit from. And therefore, I'm thankful for Prashant and the team to have put together this in a very short timeline. 6 months from official announcement to launch is an excellent achievement. Congratulations to the SDVerse team. And we're humbled to be here part of your launch event today. Thank you very much. I'm handing over to Jeff, who joins us as the Chief Commercial Officer from SDVerse. Jeff, please come to the stage.
Tough act to follow. There's a lot of energy in the room today. Do you feel it? Thank you, Thomas. And thank you all for joining today for the official launch of SDVerse. My name is Jeff Walker, and as Thomas said, I recently stepped into the role of Chief Commercial Officer here at SDVerse. Over the past 30 years, working with OEMs worldwide while at Bosch and ZF, I've learned the true value of partnerships and collaboration. It's an absolute honor to be a part of Prashant's team, where we will help the future of software sourcing and development for software-defined vehicles. I'd like to start by sending a heartfelt thank you to the founding members, General Motors, Magna, and Wipro. Thank you. They showed incredible leadership and vision, and their collaboration brought SDVerse to life. Together, we're building something truly transformative. I'd also like to acknowledge our launch and premier partners here today. Thank you. And I also want to say thanks to the people joining on live stream. We have over 300 people joining right now. Thank you. And I want to thank the other companies who have decided to join us, who are here today, on this growing SDVerse ecosystem. Your support and shared vision are crucial as we move forward in this exciting journey. You have seen today from Prashant, Kristen, Jorg, and Thomas just how impactful this platform can be in revolutionizing how we approach software development in the mobility space. SDVerse represents more than just a technological advancement. It's about creating a community that fosters innovation, one that drives transformation of how we source, develop, and implement software across our industry. As we officially launch SDVerse today, I'm deeply committed to ensuring that we at SDVerse become your trusted partner, working closely with you to support your unique challenges and help you navigate the complex demands of the software development landscape. We are here to create a win-win environment where your success sparks the collective innovation that will shape the future for all of us. And now, I'd like to invite all of our partners and members of this growing ecosystem to join me on stage for the official unveiling of SDVerse. Thank you all, and let's begin the journey together.
So hopefully I'm loud enough. What we're going to do now is we asked you all here today for the product launch, right, for the platform to go live. Now, the platform is going to go live and with the press of a button, right? Go. Here we start a countdown. So this button press somewhere, press and enter in the line of code, the platform is live. And we're going to show that to you now. I think, thank you everyone, for your feedback, for being here, for guiding us, and for being in the service of the industry. Thank you very much. Okay, so you heard from our founding members, GM and Magna and Wipro, where their view of the industry, their view of the future, their view of current situation. Now, I just wanted to say one other thing. We've talked a lot, and there's a lot of talk in the industry about software-defined vehicles, right, which is the direction that we want to get to. It's going to create new profit pools. It's going to create a tremendous amount of benefit for our consumers, more safety, more personalized user experiences, et cetera, right? And while we're all working very hard to realize that future vision, you can find software that you need today. You can find today that in SDVerse, right? So we don't have to wait for newer architectures years down the line. Anything that any buyer, any OEM, any tier one needs today, you can log into, you can join the platform, SDVerse, you can search for that. And there's tremendous amount of benefit for the sellers, some of which Jeff talked about and we'll do in our closing remarks. But without further ado, why don't we actually look and see and feel how the platform is going to look like, the user experience, how are you going to search for information, how are you going to compare and communicate with suppliers. May I invite Praveen Yalavarti on stage. Praveen is our Chief Technology Officer. He joins from Ford. Praveen, welcome, and thank you for all of your hard work the last few months.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you, Prashant. I'm so humbled to be here, demonstrating the live demo for this platform that we built over the last 4 months. So I joined about 4.5 months ago. This is an incredible honor for me to do this. I have spent a little bit about my background. Prashant mentioned I was at Ford. Out of the 25 years of my career, I spent 20 years in the automotive industry, building software, cloud software, embedded software, connected vehicle features, launched 3 different autonomous vehicle prototypes. I'm very fascinated about the automotive industry, and this is an exciting opportunity when this opportunity presented itself. Thanks to Prashant and the founding members that put trust in me and put me on this role. So before I get into the platform, I'm going to spend some time explaining what we are set to do here. We spoke to a number of our launch partners who are part of our so we have weekly meetings, actually bi-weekly meetings with focus groups going into the details of what makes sense for the buyers to find these products. So product discovery is the most important aspect of, being an engineering director myself, I have gone through this myself, which takes about 4 to 6 months, when starting building, looking at who are all the manufacturers out there, tier 1s, tier 2s that are producing this, providing this software, all the way down to creating an RFI, sending an RFI, getting the responses, filtering that list down, then the process goes on until then we engage purchasing to be able to, make that, finalize that contract. So what we are trying to do here at SDVerse, the value proposition, is actually reducing that 4 to 6 months of effort that goes into software procurement down to minutes, down to hours, if not minutes. Today we're going to demonstrate how we're achieving that. And over the last 4 months, working with our launch partners, we've gathered over 180 attributes for each software. That is our secret sauce, and the information is at the buyer's fingertips, and that's what the platform is offering, and we will continue to grow this as we mature the platform. Give me a second before I... So this is our, the homepage, SDVerse.auto, pretty marketing website at this moment, but Explore Marketplace is the place where you would go as a partner. So I have logged in, but before I go into the details of the platform itself, let me highlight a few roles that every launch partner, every partner that is joining us will have. There are 5 roles. Typically, any marketplace would have a buyer and seller, and also an administrator to set up their company. So I'm not going to go into the administrative details, but take you through the buyer journey and the seller journey today. From a buyer perspective, we have carefully designed 2 roles. One we are calling as product consumer. Typically, you can think about any engineering teams or engineering leaders looking for software. The second role we have designed to include purchasing. Typically, this is out of my own experience. Anytime you want to send an RFI out or an RFQ out, you'll want to include your purchasing team. So we have included that as another role called inquiry approvers. So that's on the buyer side. We also have designed 2 roles from a seller perspective. Product creator, typically product teams that understand the product, understand the attributes, understand the capabilities and the features of the product, that can define the product in a much more granular detail. That's the role that we are calling as product creator. But we also want to recognize there is account executives or account managers that are responsible for a large OEM or a tier 1 that you may be servicing to, and we want them to be part of the overall equation, and then so this is the second role that we've introduced for the seller perspective. We call them as product approvers. Basically, they're kind of seeing and making sure that product details are accurate. they can add any upsell and cross-selling opportunities before the product goes live on the platform. So those are the 4 roles. Now, I have logged in as a buyer, and obviously this is protected behind a login. So for the sake of simplicity, I've logged in as a buyer into the platform. So this is kind of how the homepage is organized. You can see onboard and offboard software, tools and services. For the ease of navigating through this, we have also have, I think there's a lot of energy on embedded software. So you can actually search by vehicle domains. So all of the domains that you're seeing, chassis, infotainment, ADAS, if people just want to go down to ADAS and look for what they want versus onboard software, the other aspects of how you actually divide that and understand where to find the software is how this has been designed with simplicity in mind. If you go to onboard software, the same products are structured architecturally from an architecture layer, from an SDV architecture layers perspective, starting from the drivers to platform and operating systems down to middleware, down to all the way to the applications. So you can either search by the vehicle domains, or if you know that I need middleware, I can just directly go there and then look at middleware software. We also have tools. These could be design tools, coding tools, verification, validation, integration tools, deployment tools, and so on. Offboard software, this list is getting filled out. As you can see, we have some products that typically you will see cloud-based software as a service, mostly for data collection. Over-the-air software are the 2 areas that you will find some products, as well as some mobile apps that we have gathered in the outboard software. Last but not the least, the services. This is an important aspect. As an engineering leader, I had, when we want to provide this a la carte menu where I have selected an onboard software, I need data collected from that particular software, and is there a service provider that can do the integration for me? So services will highlight services offered by our partners, engineering services, integration services, some of the safety assessments and security assessments, and so on. As a buyer, if I want to understand who the marketplace players are, we have a page where we display all of the participants. And here is our growing list of participants that are here in the auditorium today. As a buyer, I can directly go and look at, okay, what products does FEV is answering? I mean, has loaded up here. You can actually go directly and by company you can search. That's another area, that's another way for you to look at the products. Or you can directly go and look at all the vehicle domain, all the products in the vehicle domain. We have around 163 products on the platform as of this morning, and this list is growing. We were expecting to load, at least our target was 100 by launch date. But over the last 2 days, I'd say Thursday and Friday, we have products loaded up like crazy, and even this morning there's some products that are loaded up. So we're anticipating this list to only go up in the next few weeks. Again, keeping the product discovery and the simplicity in mind, we also have a powerful search. So I'm going to search. All right, I'm looking for park assist. So naturally, it's an Elasticsearch-based capability. It brings up as you type. You can see a lot of park assist products coming from our launch partners here, as well as our founding members. But I'm going to take you through the flow of how the product details would look like through a sample product. So before I go into the detail, you can see on this listing, you can filter down this list by, hey, I only want to look at those products that are, still park assist, but show me if they offer customization, as an example. Or I want that to be in production, right? I don't want to look at in pilot or not validated products, but only in production. And I'm looking for, a company headquartered in Europe. So this is how you filter down. It actually brings down. This is a very simple filter of the products. But let me go and take you through one of the product here, Still Park Assist. This is the level of information that we've gathered. I mentioned 180 attributes have been captured for each one of the products here. It has the category of, okay, what is it? It's an onboard software, but it's an application. It applies to vehicle domain ADAS. It has some version number when it is released. Pricing models, right? We're not putting, and we're encouraging everyone to put pricing models, if not the price itself. But I think pricing models are encouraged as well. So you'll see some pricing models here. And then what are the associated services that are offered on this product? And then you'll have a full specification. So these are all the attributes that we collected. What is the key functionality? What's the key inputs and outputs needed, expected? What is it compatible with? And board architecture compatibility, what standards does it adhere to? What's the maturity of and quality of the software? So we only look for in production software, so it's in production. And any commercial information available, is there a trial phase available, and so on and so forth, and then product packaging. We also allow sellers to advertise or actually relate a different variant of the same product. So this is kind of the cross-selling opportunity for the buyers, for the sellers, but for the buyers, they have the ability to look at other variants of the same product. So this is what we are seeing here is a basic one, and there seems to be an advanced offering from the same vendor. They can also identify compatible products, right? If this is an application software, I can say my application software is compatible with this middleware and this operating system. So you have the opportunity to upsell or also cross-reference an existing product sold by somebody else, right? It's like even an open source software. So you know from a buyer perspective what it is compatible with, what can I put on, what middleware should it be put on, what operating systems does it support. So this is all of the detail that we captured so far. You also have the ability to offer services. It's not just the software you're buying. We're also, we will provide, so some sellers can say, I'm providing integration services, or I can customize this product for you. So those are the services that are captured as well. Another important aspect here is, now, to make the product, I think the whole point of this is product discovery. Can I make the decision as a buyer, which product should I go and procure, or even ask for quotes? Any information in the featured content is actually exactly meant for addressing that need from the buyer perspective. So the sellers can upload videos of their products, whether it's an overview or how-to. You can imagine any kind of videos that can actually make the product more appealing to the buyers. The buyers can also upload an entire product specification. So it could be like 50-page long, 200-page long. We've all seen those product specifications. So they're all possible. And you can actually upload maybe a test results or a certification that you obtained. So you're able to display that as an opportunity for you to display, so the buyers can make the decision. Now, as a buyer, I can, this information is great, but I wanted to understand, what other features or what other software compatibilities are. There is a question on this product. We've enabled a live chat feature. So it'll basically take you directly have a conversation with the merchant or the seller who's actually put this product up on the marketplace. This is like instant messaging, right? So this is not an email. None of this traffic is viewed by SDVerse, although we have access to it, but we're not in the middle of the buyers and sellers. They're conversing and understanding more, gathering more details. The seller, on the other side, will see this message, can respond immediately, just like how you would respond to any other messaging apps on your web, on your either web or on your mobiles. So now that I've gathered some information through my exchange of information with the seller, through the chat, through all these attributes, but I also found, let's say if I go back here, I also found a number of other Park Assist features, software products from other companies. So I'm curious to understand, how do I compare, right? I mean, how does this compare with what I'm viewing with other products that are on the marketplace? So I can add products to the comparison. So you can see a compare product. I'm adding the basic product that I'm just Park Assist Basic. I can also add, maybe I want to look at what's the difference between basic and advanced from the same company. Or I also want to see what else is out there. There is a version 5.1 from another company. I can add to the comparison, and my product comparison now shows 3 products side by side. This is a head-to-head comparison. You can see all the attributes compared against each other, including every single attribute we discussed on the product detail page. And where you don't have information, those are the X's, right? Basically, there isn't enough information. And it's a long list. I might just be only interested in showing, seeing only the differences. Let me see what the difference is. I'm not interested in all the attributes. Show me just the differences. So it'll filter out. This is just showing the differences of those products. So this is what you would do. I was doing it in my career, and this is what the buyers would do to compare, to get quotes from everybody. This is RFIs, and you're comparing them, and then creating a criteria for you to select. You're now bringing that down, all of that. I've been talking less than 15 minutes. Now we are at product comparison across multiple products. So this is how we are shrinking the time that it takes from 4 to 6 months down to hours, if not minutes. So now, looks like I'm excited about the basic or the advanced product from Advanced Park Assist. I can go back and maybe add this advanced product. I'm interested in understanding more information about how do we procure this. Before I go, and all of this is happening within the buyer's context, right? This is still the buyer's journey. We haven't even I've talked to the seller, with the chat, but there's not a formal request that went out and say, hey, I'm interested in, purchasing this product yet. So as a buyer, you want to get some input from your own team. I mean, maybe there's a large engineering department. There is another sales team that you want to vet out with, or maybe you have some legal teams that have to review and understand the product. What you can do I can add this product to my bookmarks. So I'm adding this product to my bookmarks. So for example, I can add to my bookmarks, and then I can start sharing this bookmark within my team, right? Within the company, I can share the bookmarks. Hey, here is the products that I found interesting. Provide your commentary. So this is still happening within the buyer's context. They can gather input by sharing their bookmarks. You can create as many lists as possible, maybe one for ADAS, one for infotainment. You can think about adding bookmarks, list of bookmarks for yourself. Now, once you gained all the input from your teams, you're now ready for, let's say I now want to send this to the seller, right? I want to send this as a request, kind of at an RFI, RFQ stage. I can add this to the inquiry list. So it's added. Now, adding the inquiry to the inquiry list does not automatically send it to the seller. Remember I mentioned that we want to bring in the purchasing, so this automatically triggers a note, an email to the purchasing department, or the people that we have identified as an inquiry approver, whoever you've identified from your purchasing teams will get notified, and they'll have the opportunity to review what you're sending out. So you're being inclusive about your purchasing team. So on this demo, I have taken all the roles to make it simple, so I'm the purchasing guy now. So I can, as an engineering leader, I'm checking this out and say, as a purchasing person, I said, okay, need to discuss pricing models. So this inquiry submission is what sends this inquiry to the seller. So this concludes the buyer flow. Now that, just like another demo, this concludes the buyer flow. It may be my network is weak. All right. Now let's look at the sellers, right? Now I'm on the seller side. As a seller, here is the view for the seller. As soon as they log in, they have a dashboard. The most important aspects for the sellers are obviously if there are inquiries. So there seems to be an inquiry here, and then they can also see other inquiries that have been established in the past or have been closed. It's kind of a dashboard view for all the inquiries, followed by any messages that they received from the buyers. They'll be able to see these messages here. And the third category is products. We'll get to the products in a moment. But the inquiries, you can go and look at all the inquiries that have been raised. Looks like there is an inquiry raised. It'll tell which company it's raised from, who sent it, and what are they looking for. They're looking for crowdsourced maps, looks like. Right? So you have the opportunity to look at what's happening there and move this inquiry through various stages as you're discussing real time with the buyers. As a seller, I can also go and look at all my messages. This is like a chat interface. So you can directly interact, as I said. This is purely messaging functionality. You can send text messages. You can also exchange some files. If you want to send test results, and the buyer is asking for, have you done tests? If so, can you share me test results? So you can actually send those live using the chat interface. The most important part for sellers for actually putting the products on the shelf is actually going through the products, uploading the product itself. So I'll spend some time on products. So the seller can see all the products they have uploaded onto the marketplace. Here, they have the ability to add new product. Typically pretty, as I said, 180 attributes, not easy to fill. But what we have also done is provided a capability to bulk import all the products through a CSV file. So I'm not going to go through the CSV here, but these are the capabilities that we've enabled sellers to have. So that's what's launched, and there's other functionalities that I haven't gone through, but that's what's launched today. And I think I just want to conclude that's the intent of our platform readiness for this launch. However, I want to spend 2 more minutes and show you what we are building or what we are working on. This is not in production, but this is the current work in progress that we're putting our efforts on. As many of the speakers before me mentioned, there's a lot of power, there's a lot of products, there's a lot of power from AI that we can use, especially Gen AI. We started creating, most difficult task is actually product discovery, understanding whether this product meets my purpose. Also, you'll see product specifications that run in the like 100 to 200 page specifications. So what we are trying to do is, I don't know if at least, it's hard to read through that entire set of product specification when you have a simple question, hey, what is the pricing model that's offered on this product? If that's the only thing you want to look at, or hey, what are the key features? So what we are trying to do is actually enabling, again, this is staging environment, not in production, just call it out. So we've integrated Gen AI capabilities to understand the features and what's on the product. So for simplicity of this demo, I've just added some questions here. So I'm asking, this is a park assist feature, what real-time feedback is provided to the driver during parking? So what it is doing is, we don't want, AIs can be powerful, but it also needs to be tamed. You don't want it to hallucinate and provide information that's not relevant and that's not appropriate for this product. So we are building an AI engine that can streamline and only look at the specifications and the data that's on the platform and answer questions. So here, I'm asking what does this product do and what is the real-time feedback provided to the driver during parking. So this is, and it's actually, if you can see, it's referring back to the specification. According to the product specification, the system provides driver with real-time visual and auditory feedback on parking progress. I can also ask other questions, like, what are the key features of this product? Now, every time it answers the question, we are taming it to not go haywire into the world and the web, but really focus on getting the information that's available, that's submitted by that seller on that product. So it's now talking about some of the key features that this product is offering. It's actually pulling it from the specification. Pricing models, so you can go on and on. So now you are asking questions rather than reading 200-page document and getting the information from that specification or from the data set submitted for that product. So this is something that we are very excited to bring to the market. But these are the new features that we will be working on post-launch, probably starting from tomorrow. All right, that concludes. Thanks for bearing with me. So there were some glitches in the demo, but it went through well. Thanks.
Thank you, Praveen. We had, in preparation for this demo, we watched a lot of demos on YouTube, and my challenge to Praveen was, don't screw up more than once, right? We saw that in OpenAI demo and Microsoft reveals and stuff. So just the checkout not working, I think, is a win. So Praveen, thank you for all of your hard work over the last 6 months and for the team. So I think you saw part of what we are working on, right? What's very important is to, again, recognize and acknowledge. I want to give you an example. I was at Car MBS a few weeks ago. I think we've got Prasad here from Car, brought a lot of industry people together. I was talking to a tier 2 supplier. They said it took about 8 years for them to get in the system for one of the OEMs, and 8 years of investment in R&D and payroll and so on and so forth. And they have a very cool solution. Now they're taking off big time. If you think about what you can do as a seller on SDVerse, so we talked about buyer benefits. A lot of the focus was on the buyer journey. Kristen talked about how they're going to adopt at GM this. From a seller point of view, if you are a large company, growing company, if you're here, there is this pull strategy. You're in front of people who are actually looking for your solution, right? I'm not saying magic is going to happen overnight and you'll start selling like hotcakes. No, you save a lot of time getting in front of the right audiences. There is that benefit for sellers. There's a benefit for sales cycle, right, from that point of view. We talked about benefits to buyers. I just think that as time goes on, as software becomes more and more prominent in cars, I do think the industry is going to change a whole lot more. There is, we didn't even touch on some of the AI in cars, but I do believe I am very convinced, and so are a lot of people here, industry is going to look different from what it has been. There is a tremendous amount of opportunity that we have at hand. I do think, and I like what Jorg had mentioned, we are the foundation. We're trying to be the foundation of the architecture that helps the industry. We think at SDVerse, our team thinks we are in the service of the people who are in the service of others, right? So we have a service mindset. We're trying to help the industry move forward at a fast pace, make better decisions with smart resource allocation, open source, standards, so on and so forth. So I think with that, I want to conclude this. I want to bring this together. I want to thank you all again for being here. Thank you for the people who are online who took the time. Some of them, it's evening and night for you. I appreciate that very much. And again, for coming here, for your championship, for your feedback, for your support. If you want to talk to us about product, Praveen is going to be here in the room doing more demos and more details. If you want to just talk business, industry, what have you, or the time when we meet for drinks, I think Jeff and I are here to talk. Thank you very much again. I think this concludes our presentation for today. Again, appreciate it.
Go to presentation mode and then
Yeah.
just pull it out. That's good. Good? Good.
Did you see my signs over there? My countdown was like 3 minutes. Shoot.
Yeah. Good.